What up, internet? It's your boy RynoRyder back again. RynoRyder's vlog, episode 0399. Pretty exciting. Hey, so been a while. I wanted to post a vlog. This one is basically I'm gonna cut to and show you. It's about an hour long script meeting I had with Kaya Ferrano. Ding. Kaya is co-creator and director for the TV series I've been working on. Pretty much all this year so far. And just put it on the background, let it go. You might pick up some nuggets of information here or there. Beyond that, if we continue to push on the show and it continues to become a reality, kind of cool to document this process and to look back. You can hear pages printing off right now. I've just finished taking this data and composing it into short form treatments. So each one of these little blocks here, that's an episode. That's an episode. That's an episode. Each one of those episodes it's about a 4-page treatment that basically just summarizes what all of those post-it notes are saying and the flow of the story. We're taking those and so we have 8 episodes total. So it will be one for each one of those, except for the pilot. The first episode will have a full pilot script. I am going to be turning my attention towards that in the next coming weeks and month. I wanted to get this, put another video out, recorded this meeting, show you that, have it there, video, audio, whatever, play in the background, pick up something, don't pick up something, whatever, it's there for you. More importantly, next week I'm going to be doing a vlog where I'm going to show you exactly what the next step in my process is in terms of how I break down. I'm going to try to get as detailed as I possibly can into how my process is of breaking down beat by beat by beat to tell a story, because I believe that stories are binary, it's mathematical, it just takes a lot of hard work. I didn't say shit. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of planning and a lot of preparation and all that kind of stuff to do it well. And so I'm going to show you my process. Hopefully, maybe for some of you youngsters out there, it will bring you some value. So that's it. Enjoy this script meeting with between myself and Kaya, and stay tuned. We'll see you next week. RynoRyder out.
Flying through the sky, hey, we're burning bright. They're never gonna stop us with the brightest light. Think about the times we nearly fell apart. Well, now we're so alive with the wildest stars. Spending every night with my summer breeze. Cool, young and free, pure energy. Playing all the songs that we wanna hear. 'Cause we could be dead in the morning.
Okay, so first of all, let me get that structure of the treatment outline, that 3-4 page.
Yeah, that works good.
I think that's where,
That's clear.
that's literally as me as close as I can, just really just copying it from post-its to.
That's fine.
So for each one there'll be that, and that's not even scratching the surface.
No, but that's like, you get the gist of every episode. That's what the point is.
So kind of what. So I'm gonna finish those, and is that enough? Here's my question. Like, how much more? Like in.
Yeah. I think the pilot needs one too.
Pilot needs one of those treatment things.
Yeah, quick. And then I think we need to do like a pretty nice synopsis, like a short, maybe a 2-paragraph, even maybe a 1 big paragraph synopsis of the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are we? I can always, whatever you want help, shit, I can, we can go back and forth.
The synopsis might be difficult because I've just tried to. Every
Yeah,
time somebody
it is
asks me about
difficult.
like what's it about, I'm like,
Well,
and I'm also like, dude, I'm really exercising some fucking demons. It feels good. It's
Yeah.
like very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm like really into it. And
yeah. And that's actually something I want to talk about, because now that we've finished basically putting all the sticky notes down and kind of discovering where we're going with the whole thing, I think we need to just step back and look at the big picture of it and think about like two main things, like motives, like clear motives for each character, and like what are their stakes that the characters have. And you know, now that we've finished and we know what we're doing, I mean, things can change a little bit. But like even starting on episode 3, when the traveler is like arguing with his wife about going, and she's like, I'm dying, he's like, I'm going anyways. I strongly think that he...
motives and what? Sorry.
Stakes. Like what's at stake for each character.
Okay, yeah.
And like the traveler, for example, you know, he's fixed on finding whatever, but I think we need to be... He needs to think that he's finding treasure that will lead to money, which he tries...
The traveler?
Yes, which he, when she's sick here, he tries to justify, like, look, you're sick, I'm going out there, if I find this treasure, you know, like, we'll have money to cure you, you know? Still, like, putting that...
Now, let me play I like it more that he picks it even in the face of her death. I like that.
But that means he doesn't give a shit. And that's like a
But
marriage
that's
with
his
3 children.
But that's an archetype.
But I don't think he
Just because he's married with 3 kids doesn't mean the dude's happy.
Yeah, absolutely doesn't mean he's happy. But he still needs to like come up with. I don't think it's strong enough just to be like, oh, okay, you're dying. Okay, I'm leaving anyways. Like there should be something to be like at least an excuse.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
he doesn't really
yeah,
like.
okay.
He doesn't really need to want that, but he can tell her that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know we discussed last time, like, I think a large picture, a message about the whole entire story should be, you know, the traveler's looking for riches. He's also, you know, an adventurer looking for the whole experience.
Does it come across that the letter that he writes to his wife is like he's not planning on ever coming back? Like that's him giving up on his...
No, that did not come
Okay.
across. In the pilot? In the treatment?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That he wasn't coming
That,
back.
I mean, that'll flesh out. I picture that as like a scene or thing, just so you know where I'm going with him. Of like he does ultimately not, even if he may get there, whatever. He ultimately decides like, nope, I'm staying. He Percy Fawcett's it, you know.
Yeah, but Percy Fawcett didn't purposely say I'm staying. Percy
right, but
Fawcett
it's
disappeared.
if Percy Fawcett had said that or made that decision. That's kind of why, or maybe it could have happened because the letter gets burned anyway. So we don't know. Percy Fawcett could have written a letter like that, and somebody burned it or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I was exploring with that.
Yeah,
But,
like he's starting to go kind of off the rocker.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I think a theme in the whole thing, you know, we got a really main theme. I think
I've been kind of going and sticking in my head when I think about it back to what Ian in the early days, but being about life.
Yeah.
Life and death.
Yes. No, for sure, exactly, and that's even tying into what I'm thinking, which is
family and life and death.
Yeah, and
the circle of life.
Yeah,
sound
but
cheesy.
like also no, sure, but also the fact that like you continuously try to go after whatever it is, treasure or wealth that's gonna make your life better, but ultimately the most important thing is health and family.
It's a very like modern theme, or I mean, it's like an everyday man theme. It's
'Cause
what
everyone's
everybody does like this. Yeah.
Everyone's hustling for, to make that green, you know, and everyone's like, oh, if only I had more money, my life would be fixed, set. You know, if I won the lottery, my life would be fixed.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is like,
and we play with that in the characters.
play with that.
Shane is money, and but like not with the family. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah, and they're like, even. Trying to make excuses like, oh, you're sick, but if we find this, you'll be, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
So at the end, maybe when they're expecting to find some sort of treasure, they find something way more important, way more significant than any sort of treasure they ever imagined.
Right. Yeah, we have that.
Yeah. So it's not like the father was sure about like finding the fountain of youth. That's something that like we discover that's like so much more valuable than any sort of treasure.
Right. So have him talk.
Treasure, like his thing is, and the other thing.
The Lost City or just treasure?
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. And here in the episode 3, and when he's fighting with, and somewhere in episode 3, I think he can have either like around his neck, but he has some sort of artifact or something that like tries to be like, look, like I have.
Shane or Dylan?
The Traveler, like the Traveler has something that later is going to get passed down to Dylan. Before he dies, the father's like take this is for you. Like I've held this
what
inside.
Is it?
It's some sort of symbolic. I don't know if it's a coin, but something that he thinks attaches that artifact to the Lost City.
But don't we already kind of have that with the journal and stuff? Do we need?
We have a journal, but we don't have anything other than like his. We don't have anything that he ever found. He never found anything.
And what's the purpose? The
purpose is.
I just don't want to get into the cliche world,
Yeah, no, totally. But
that's a very art error,
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
Even
blah,
if it's
blah.
something maybe not like a coin, which is pretty cliche.
Yeah.
But maybe something less cliche than that. But an artifact that shows like, proof, like this is proof.
Well, it's interesting you said that because I was going to start I'm only on the 4th treatment. I've had this like migraine all week, but it's in the past, and we took the note of it happens day, but it's basically the scene in the past where he goes to the library and discovers manuscript 512 and the full moon and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing there.
Didn't we take that out and put that in the garage instead of in the library?
Well, the note said this moment happens at home, but I couldn't remember what we were. Do you remember what we were doing with that? It happens in the garage, and it's him. It's detective. Okay. Let me make that note.
Because I think.
Do you think the name Traveler is done?
Look, I think it's better. I think it's better.
Like I think it's a good title.
Yeah.
But I'm hating having to come up with a title for this.
It sucks.
Because it's just they all sound
I've been thinking
cliche.
I've been trying to think of something that transcends.
And like I love something about like light, but it's so specific to this one.
I'm trying to find something that transcends to future. Like True Detective that can transcend to like a bunch of different storylines.
So the next one you want in space, that would be cool with it.
I wanted the next one under the
Underwater.
ocean, yeah. And then maybe the third one in space.
And you felt the third one in space, you can do the second one underwater. Yeah. Be my 2001 and your Abyss. Yeah. I like it's a clever name that it came.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I tried to look it up to see if there was anything that like defines that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look it well enough, but I just put it in Google to see like what if anything came up, and I nothing really came up.
Nothing.
But yeah, so I think we need to be super critical about our motives and our stakes for each character, you know, and I do think it needs to be like, you know, universal, even if it's like a minor, something small or something larger, depending on the character. But like, even like, let me ask you, like, what to you are the motives of each of the three main characters?
To go to Brazil, or just in life?
To like go on this whole mission. Like, what is, you know, that's what we're doing.
Easy. The motives are Dylan to. I mean, on it deeply, it's Dylan. I think Dylan wants his family reunited and thinks this is an opportunity to do so because he's a dreamer, right? Shane's doing it because he sees the passion in his little brother, and he's, although would maybe never admit it, or maybe admit it, he's envious of that passion. He wishes he could just do whatever he wants, you know what I mean? But his upbringing and who he is just made him be the family man, you know, that kind of thing. And Maggie's motivation is to weirdly selfish. I think her motivation is like she really thinks she's gonna heal herself, and then she won't have to tell anybody that she was sick or had this disease or whatever. You know what I mean?
Or is her motive there to be the counterbalance to
No,
the two of them?
no, that's what she tells everybody. But she doesn't really give a fuck. Like, she's like, you guys can kill yourself, I don't care. Like, she's very selfish, but because of those actions comes off as selfless.
So how does she think going to Brazil is gonna cure her though?
Because she's tried everything under the sun in fucking Santa Monica and Beverly Hills, and nothing works. And she deeply believes in energy, spiritual. She's very, you know, definitely believes in all of that. Very much so. Is very empathic. You know, gets her own signals and has her own ways and stuff like that. And maybe when Brazil is mentioned and she does her little Dini research, you know, and the first thing she sees is just like something that you saw, like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that just, she's like, fuck it.
Yeah, I think Dylan's motive is to...
That's what I think about, like, when I'm doing the character. That's why it's, like, hard for me, because I'm super deep rooted in the emotional part, that, like, their actions of going there, I'm like, they could go to fucking Timbuktu, it doesn't matter. Like, these are their motivations right now.
Yeah, but Dylan, like, I think what's really important for Dylan is to comply with his father's wishes, you know?
Yeah, those are the surface, like, motives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
that's what's going to come across on paper.
Yeah.
But the emotional motive is he wants his, dude, it's his big brother. I don't know if you ever had a big brother, but, like, you idolize that big brother, especially if you didn't have a dad around.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know, and so he's been distant from his brother, you know, and he just wants the family back. That's why I love the ending so much. I think it's so beautiful, and literally that final image of all six of them at the grave, mom and dad, and, like, everybody smiling, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know?
And then do you think, so Shane comes from, like, you know, he's kind of comes from trying to make money, trying to get rich is his mentality, his work, you know, artifacting, you know, the way he is always busy on the phone.
Yeah.
Is that a motive for him? Like, is something that clicks, that he sees, that he thinks Dylan's on the right track, or there's like an inkling of something that
there should be.
There should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I think money needs to be...
No, no, because I do like when he gets to Igatu and meets Abel and sees that thing that, you know what I mean, and that gets, I like that whole thing. So
exactly. But do you think if that thing that he sees in Igatu, do you think his father has the same one?
Probably it's something like that. Yeah, I'm so far away from
that to, like, have that.
Yeah, no, that's all there. That will all be there. It's a couple more layers away. I really feel like it's like super sculpting. Like, I can almost visualize it. Like the chemistry that happened in my head when I sat down and finally started to transfer the Post-its to like a regular, you know what I mean? Was like, ugh, it's like this massive thing, and now processed down to like this, and then this, and then this, you know. So it's like totally like whittling stuff down. So yeah, all that stuff is there. That's just gonna be on super detailed fast. But I was gonna say add motive, add a physical / monetary motive. Yeah.
And then, so then the other side to it is, what are they risking? What is each character?
Good question. Okay, well we can play the same game. Deeper risk and the surface risk. I'll start with Dylan because I know him the best. What he's risking is failure, and he goes on the trip and brings it, and at the end of all of it, Shane just says, "Okay, cool, see ya. This was fun," and there hasn't been that reconciliation.
Yeah, risking not.
Yeah, so that's his risk. On the surface, his risk, maybe like, I don't know, not much.
Yeah, he's
failure in the physical realm of like he might get to the jungle and pussy out. I don't know. You know what I mean? But like just the like that's a big physical thing, like traveling to a foreign country and go like that's a, you know, so maybe I think that would be his risk of just like failing physically. Just he doesn't have it.
Not
you know?
finding it or
Not even that. Just like not even like, you know, might get there and he gets that poisonous frog and it's like I'm done. You know,
yeah,
like
but I don't. I mean, would you have that? That sounds kind of like a pussy.
No, that's why I'm saying like the only risk, I don't know, he's got really nothing to lose. I can't think of him really having much in the physical sense for him to lose.
What? Yeah, you know what I was thinking was when
like 2 weeks of work, you know, like
Yeah,
rent might be slow that
Exactly.
month, you know, like something like that, because he makes the money, like, you know, that might be it. But he's like, fuck it, I'll take 2 weeks off and, you know, eat ramen noodles for, you know, theoretically.
You know what's cool? When I was reading this, the third part, when he's fighting with the traveler's fighting with the woman says she's sick, but he goes anyways. It kind of reminded me of like Dylan and Ariel.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Dylan going anyways. I don't know at what point Ariel tells him that she's.
I don't know if she's still pregnant, dude.
Pregnant.
I don't know. I'm having a difficult time with that, just because we never go back. I just don't see the point. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's something, like, I love it. I would love to do it, but it just seems like a
dead end.
cheap thing to throw, you know what I mean? It's just cheap. It's a cheap thing. And it's like, I have more respect for this story than that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If we could fit it in and make it work, absolutely. And that would, and I'm bummed that we can't.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't fit.
So Maggie, obviously we know deep down what her risk is.
So Maggie, her deep down risk is
breaking herself, and
well, her risks are probably both the same, right? Her risks are she'll die. Like she doesn't go and doesn't find it, you know, there is no healing. She's wrong. Then there's that, and then the physical risk of she's in pain, she's sore, you know, she can't physically do this.
Yeah.
And you know, she knows what she's getting into, but. You know what might be interesting? This note just came to me. What if she's an exceptional swimmer? What if instead of running in Santa Monica, she swims? But I do like the running because I like the self-punishment, you know? But what about that?
Yeah, what's I don't know where you're going with that.
Because swimming is less
heavy on the bones.
Yeah. And then I'm also thinking like somehow we can have it connected during the climax of like in the water. We're like, oh, she jumps in the water. We're like, oh, Maggie's a swimmer, you know.
Yeah, that works. That's fine. Whatever you want to do with that.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah. It also explains her climbing because we'll just make a quick note. Like maybe she climbs the high dive and she just like, you know.
Or she's swimming out in the ocean. like along the.
Oh, there we go.
You know.
I like that. There
That's
you go.
Better.
Just on the
And then
beach.
Yeah.
Just fucking sets her bag down, and then just walks in the water and just fucking.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
I have a guy, my neighbor, 87 years old. Every single day he does that.
That's even doper to. I fucking love Maggie, her character.
Yeah. And then Shane is.
Okay, what is Shane's? Deep down, what are the stakes?
I think there's a moment. It might be there.
Okay.
I don't know yet if it's there or not. But like to me, it sounds like Shane discovers when he's out there at a certain point. Obviously, like he's like going against the whole thing, and he's like that personality. But at one point, he needs to liberate himself and realize that like his life back home is not healthy.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that. I was thinking on the on what's at stake for him subconsciously, or inside. An interesting thing might be he's afraid to go on this trip because he's afraid that he might find reconciliation about his father and with his whole family and stuff like that, and he's afraid of what it's all good, but he's afraid to, right? That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That's good.
Yeah, that he's afraid of seeing from his father's point of view.
Yeah, afraid to find reconciliation. Yeah, that's big, and that's the truth too.
Yeah, and I think maybe like in episode 6 or 7, there should be a moment, probably 7, when he's out there, when he literally like comes to a realization that his attitude sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it, yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I think, and there's definitely those moments that like, definitely I can see it where he's connecting the artifacts to his dad, and then hearing a story, and then seeing just being able to see seeing a trait in him as a younger man that he kind of possesses, but in the business, we all get it that Dylan's just like they're very similar. But if Shane starts to see traits or discover traits that he knows about, that he has in himself, maybe negotiation, like his dad was a hell of a negotiator or something, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
You even had that scene originally, I think it was in the script, or maybe it's still there, that, the kid's like, he's kind of fed up, like at home, Shane, and then like the kids spill shit and he kind of flips out.
Yeah.
Like that flip out right there is like a trait that the father would have when he flips out on him.
Yeah.
And then
Ooh, I thought of a great line. When was this moment gonna happen? I think in the pilot. Sorry to tangent, but maybe you can help me places. So Dylan lives in the house that they grew up in, right? And I think in the pilot we need to have a conversation between Shane and Dylan. I'm sure there is one in there. There's already a scene in there or something. But I was thinking if it takes place in the garage, and I think we talked about that. And like,
I think I mentioned that here.
And Shane, I was thinking Shane like stands on the outside of the garage, like maybe the garage door's open, Dylan's in, Shane stands on the outside,
and Dylan, he's like, no.
Yeah, and Dylan says, well, he's still afraid of the garage, something like that. Like that's it, you know what I mean? And then 7 episodes later, we see like, but I like that using the garage as like a it's like a
Oh yeah, that's sure. That's what I think. I think we need to be planting seeds like all along that are gonna reveal themselves.
This is good. Yeah.
Yeah, another thing like this is, you know, totally. I think that we need to have like, I don't even remember in the first episode, or is it in the second, where they're starting to research, and when does Dylan start looking through his like father's notes and like doing research and investigation? Is that pilot or 2?
There's I think it's in the pilot. I think there's
Oh yeah, right here.
a little bit in the beginning of 2. Ba-na-na-na-na.
Did you read the email I sent you with the notes from 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Can we,
Yeah,
can
and the
we go
pilot-
over those?
Yeah, we can go over those. I was not. I saw them. I read them. I didn't ingest.
Okay.
Digest
Yeah,
them.
let's
I
go
was like,
through those because
I'm just
these
gonna
are just
finish
my
the rest of the treatments.
yeah. So in the beginning, you know, because since the pilot we wrote, things have changed a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
So are we still witnessing the whole tribal situation and the body?
No.
We just
So basically, here's was the thing. All of those, I'm like, yeah. Like I'm like, I haven't even looked at the pilot yet. So I guess that's the thing. I'm gonna finish these 3 to 4 page treatments for all 8 episodes. That's my next chunk.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go work on the pilot.
No, sure.
And so that will,
this is probably the last time we're
it's
gonna
gonna
talk. So
Yeah, no. It's gonna, but I know it's gonna change a lot.
yeah.
Just in the
Cool.
So the whole opening is gonna
Yeah, so
be different.
exactly. So I was thinking the opening. You know how Dylan falls at the scene before the cave where he almost dies,
Yeah.
breaks himself. That could be a moment where we have him's father, the traveler, hooked up and starting to scale the mountain. When he gets to the top of the mountain, he sees, you know, that whole same situation, same
Yeah.
scenario
Yeah.
that you have,
Yeah.
but like that same location.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
Even if it's nighttime, you kind of can't tell and shit, but.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know, and then he gets to the top and all you see is his eyes like right above the cliff, you know, or like this right here, his head just once he gets to the top, and then he looks out and he sees, you know, the light, which eventually will fade out.
Yeah. And he still gets to the entrance and there's just a rock wall. How far do you want him to go?
Yeah, either that's the other thing.
What if he goes into the cave and you know whether it be score or whatever, but we still have the drums and the chanting and whatever, you know, and like the pulse,
just thinking
and he's going through the cave and he does everything and then he goes and it just ends.
I was thinking, he gets in there into the cave. There's no light. It's not open anymore. It's all dark, and all he has is a flashlight looking at like a cave that's dark, and there's nothing.
And that's it.
But then when we go at episode 8, it's gonna be a whole the same
So
situation, but a whole different.
okay, so he goes there, got it, empty black cave, and then he comes walking out of the cave like kind of head sullen, and there's the entire village like waiting, like arrow, you know, whatever, like ready to like take him away, or you know,
Maybe he
still
gets
needs to be
hit.
ostracized, right?
Yeah. But the whole village shouldn't know where the location is either, right? We're like deep into the jungle. I like the whole thing of the guy with the mule carrying it. I like that whole thing, the way it is.
Oh, so then we have to get him knocked unconscious?
Not really. What if it just cuts to him like passed out on the side of the river with the shit? You know, he after the dark cave and there's nothing. I don't see nothing wrong with that cut.
I'll think of something.
Yeah, well,
There's something.
Something will come up.
Yeah. But yeah.
And then I guess just a small note here. I think we should state that Frank is the traveler because you know.
Yeah, I have a weird thing with it's like part of the OC. It's part of the process. I'm very like, if I give something this exact name and title, like I need that until I'm ready to like.
Sure.
Yeah. So all that will change.
No problem. I think Frank is too. Okay, going back to the story we originally had with him having some sort of like memory loss, dementia, whatever it is. I think it's interesting to not lay out everything to Dylan so clearly. I don't think he should remember everything so clearly. I think it should like be kind of sparse, like he has these visions and then all of a sudden like it won't completely make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there needs to be an element of discovery. It can't be like I'm laying it all out for you. Go on the trip and they just,
to be honest with you, like the pilot's 50% right now.
Yeah.
Like when I said like
that's fine,
like
but-
there's so much stuff in there that like I really need to like.
Yeah, but what do you think about him having what we originally talked about? Him having a sort of dementia. He's in this mental hospital.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
Yeah, so he's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not losing any
And
of that.
that also, I would kill myself too if I didn't remember my. You know how you even said like that one dialogue that you wrote where he like calls Dylan like Shane or something else. Remember?
Yeah.
At some point later.
Yeah. No,
That's
I'll
all that.
yeah, work that in there better.
And I don't know how we come up on the notebook, but maybe he mentions it or something.
It's gonna be in the safe deposit box.
Safe deposit box.
Yeah.
And who gives that to them?
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I mean the bank.
Yeah.
I have to go back and lay out all the things that I need to have happen in pilot. Like, there's gonna be some rearranging, I feel.
Yeah. So, Father, do we?
Stop yelling at me, God.
No, these are just all good.
I'm sorry, the pilot's not perfect, okay?
No, I mean it's not supposed to be.
I know we changed a shit ton.
So much has been changed, but these are just like notes so that. Does Father want to be? Do we scratch out the whole thing of the ashes? Him taking it?
I don't know yet.
We don't know yet. It's a possibility.
I
Not
don't know.
sure.
I'm not liking notes on the pilot.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to episode 2 then.
I feel like because the pilot I really want to really work and really grind.
Okay.
I feel like the month of August will be like we'll have everything set up, all the treatment. You know what I mean? Like everything go, and then we can just really just
Churn it in.
on the pilot. Yeah.
Cool. No, that's fine.
And just grind those things out.
Okay, so here I said episode 2 minor notes. That whole line that she said, running keeps me from murdering someone on a daily basis. That's not. I don't think that's her character.
Yeah.
These are little details.
Is it too much to do a suicide thing in there again? I want some sort of extreme of like, you know.
You can say a million things.
Yeah.
Ariel can try and tell Dylan she's pregnant, but decides not to as she drops him off at the airport.
Again, I
if you
just don't
decide to
think,
do
yeah.
that or not. Manuscript 512. Should we have Shane know about it? Referring back to my notes in the pilot, which is.
So yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shane knows about it, and Shane kind of is in minor disbelief of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Like knows its existence and knows of its.
Yeah.
You know, it's old and yes, like it exists and yes, he knows
but
what
he
it
doesn't,
is.
like-
But like,
he's not
no,
an
it's not a fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to the pilot, but I'm just going to read you because it refers back to this. So he says, I wrote here. Dylan should study the notes or the stuff with great curiosity. What Frank was saying in the hospice is now feeling credible. Dylan calls Shane in the morning and tells him they need to meet. Shane doesn't show much interest, but Dylan insists. They meet somewhere private, maybe even in the garage where Shane has bad memories. And then you can do that, the whole thing. They go through the journals, discovering 512. Shane says he's heard of 512 and begins to tell Dylan more about it. Dylan tells Shane about the soldier at the funeral who claims to know about Father's mission in Brazil.
Yeah. The thing that I was thinking reading that, like when I got to that part, like yes, and then but then there's that. It's getting out of. It's getting more Indiana Jonesy and less. This Is Us.
And is that, you mean, what are you referring to? The soldier, or
yeah, that's a little too like, you know.
planting?
Information character. Yeah, but don't worry, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, these are just ideas, but
yeah.
Real quick. So Shane looks at the stuff, but he leaves. You know, he doesn't.
I also know that there's less. I know that there's less information that we'll have to provide than what we are thinking right now.
For sure.
Right now we're like, dude, we got to tell them all about this fucking manuscript and this and that and this and that, and it's like, I know once we get in there and get into the story, we're not gonna have to get as detailed as we think.
Yeah, we probably. I mean, we don't necessarily need to tell them about the manuscript in the first episode, but I think it's so fascinating because it's a real document. You know, it's not fictitious.
For sure.
So at one point, I guess we can just keep.
No, definitely, it's all in there, but like it'd be as easy as like 2 lines in a scene.
Yeah.
You know, like that scene, that garage scene. I'm so excited to write it because it has nothing to do with manuscript 512 or artifacts or any of that. It has everything to do with Shane and Dylan. Yeah, and so it's like, add the 512 here, the this there, the this there, but let's you know, the spirit of it is right here.
Sure, but Dylan's like in the garage trying to pump Shane up, and Shane's not showing much interest. And then when Shane goes back to work, something comes up. Whatever it is, if it's on his computer, any sort of clue, you know? Like how we've been having while we've been writing this stuff.
I also don't, I guess that's the other thing is like the little clue, like the randomness of that, I don't see it fitting in this. I just don't think it's the piece for it.
Well, you know how you mentioned Dylan meets with Shane at the bar and Shane says like no, and then he goes home and then he gets an email that he bought the tickets.
Yeah.
It's going back to that same scene, but going to Shane's point of view that something of what Dylan was saying in that garage kind of just like.
I just had a crazy idea. Would it be a weird? Okay, so I'm with you. It's from Shane's perspective. We're at Shane at home. Shane's kind of having the dilemma, right?
Yeah.
Of like, well, okay, what should I do? Like, he really doesn't want to go, but he's weighing both sides. Can we have him like? I'll use a cliche, and maybe it's something like this, but maybe it's something as easy as like he's sitting there debating in his head, and he looks over the clock, and it's like 11:11 or something like
5:12.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, something like that, and he's just like, and that's the thing that kind of kicks him over. Cool.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's exactly what I was trying to touch on. Some
See
little
that?
detail, some little thing that just triggers him.
Perfect. I love that. I love it because of its simplicity.
Yeah.
It's just like Frank's motivation or obsession comes from a fucking somebody mentioned it to him in a trench.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so what was that? I'm gonna write that down. What was it?
That before Shane, you know, after the garage scene when Dylan's trying to convince Shane.
Right. Okay.
he
Shane.
goes home
Shane. Yeah.
And he's pondering, and something clicks.
Okay, that's good. I'm telling you, dude, there's so many like good.
There's so much.
So much good stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, we need to, you know, it's tough, but we need to be as critical as possible with ourselves.
Oh, I have no problem with that.
Because these are.
But I also call a spade, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's a fucking dope scene. That's a dope scene. That's a dope scene.
The only note I have for episode 2 is the spirit guide woman should.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably already even have that. It's just not in the. She should kind of tell Dylan like, be careful for what you seek.
Yeah.
You know, that be ready.
Yeah.
So episode 3, what I read last night. These are the quick notes I made. So
Okay.
Traveler should be thinking he's searching for riches when he has an argument with his wife.
Yeah. We right.
Yeah, we talked about that. So hotel room. It's kind of a spoiler if the receptionist tells them about the roadblock and the PCC.
I needed some sort of setup to
to
introduce
introduce
the
it, yes. There needs to be some sort of
Yeah.
setup. But I think her being like, oh, watch out for the roadblock for the PCC, and then they get stuck in the roadblock, I think it's too...
Right. So how can they? Because she's not just gonna say.
A newspaper on the desk can just have
There you go.
PCC,
Thank you.
you know.
Thank you.
No, not one word. And then when Shane like picks up the car,
Mm-hmm.
just supporting his character. Just I want full max insurance. Like he's always like
Okay.
that whole detail. Just like I want to be fully covered. You never know what happens, even if it's like a couple $100 more. And then he's gonna leave the car behind.
Right. Okay.
When the people ask Maggie for a photo.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like that's a humorous.
Yeah.
That'll be a humorous moment. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
We should have us in there.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I'm deep and dark and I'm like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
That'll be a funny exchange between he and Dylan.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Maggie, the situation when they ask for photos, I think they should only ask for photos once because I think there's 2 times where.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
And the last thing I wrote was that it might be cool to have them dropped off far from Igatu, like at some like remote gas station or some place where they have to hitchhike, and like they can't get a ride, so the 2 guys hide, and Maggie, which is the girl, gets a ride, and they jump on, and it's like a truck with livestock with like animals, because when they go up into the mountains.
And what's the reason for it?
Well, because it's just kind of more obstacle to get to Igatu after they've got a ride. It's kind of hard to be like, because it's a 6-hour drive, right, from
Right.
Salvador, and it's like, okay, they ditched their car, they just jumped in a van, and the van dropped them off like right in front of Igatu.
I have it a mile
Which is nothing.
hike, which is nothing. Yeah, we can extend that
Yeah.
and make it 3-4 miles. I don't think it should get on another thing. I see what you're saying. I like, I like that, but like.
To have that old like South American third world characteristics, like this old janky beat up, and Maggie's vegan, and she's like sitting next to a bunch of caged animals and shit. Has she broken?
That why not just make that's the car that picks them up?
It's the car that picks them up.
Yeah.
But then could.
Yeah.
That could be. Maybe Maggie's letting them out one by one while the car's driving. She's just opening the cages.
That would be funny.
'Cause
while they're driving.
They have people collect bird. In these countries they have like birds in cages, which I hate. And I've written scenes for that shit. But like liberating them.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious. And they get out and the guy drives off and you hear him like, motherfucker, where are all my birds? Come on, let's go.
Funny shit like that. And Dylan or Shane just like, what the fuck are you doing, Maggie? Like you can get us killed. Like more comedic area.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's it.
Those are good. Okay, so let's do this. Right, we're good on the story, right? It's just work.
Yeah, there's.
Okay, but what I do want to talk about is packaging.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have
Start with the most basic title,
right.
synopsis, log line.
Okay. Have you started to put together a lookbook?
Not
Do you
yet.
think we should have one big one? Do you think we should both have one? Basically,
No, I
mine's
think-
just gonna include all my notes, and like any pictures, inspiration, or whatever.
I'm gonna take, we're gonna take the points, main points, and we're gonna put them together with inspirational photos and scenes that we've used or photographs, and that's gonna be part of, also part of what I'm gonna be scouting. So
Mhm.
okay, Salvador.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What I would love for you to get, and here's what I kind of want to think about as well. Like, kind of come up with a concept, overall design for a teaser trailer for
Yes.
this. I'm thinking
Yeah.
we can do a minute and a half, give or take,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I had the idea of I'm just, this is for a teaser trailer, it's perfect. I pick a piece of music and just kind of cut to that and beautiful imagery and I was trying to find one online.
Can I show you one that I've made before? If you want. You
Sure,
can
and then
see
I'll
it.
show you one away.
But yeah, I think 90 seconds to 2 minutes is good.
Right, but do you want to are we trying to tell a story in there?
Mm.
I think we're just trying to fucking show
It's
like
a mood.
yeah,
it's
more
than-
mood. Yes, yes.
It's,
Okay.
We're not gonna tell a whole TV
No,
series
yeah,
story in 2
yeah,
minutes.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
But I definitely think even if we get.
But I would like you to get while you're down there, like shots of maybe like a boot stepping into frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
we can
stupid
make-
shit like that.
We can make a list of things too. So it's
Yeah.
I have a list of stuff that I can shoot while I'm down there.
Mhm.
And I can.
Running through the jungle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like POV. Something like
All
that.
that shit.
Yeah.
I have underwater shots. I've got
That
a
would be
lot
dope.
of stuff. I've got underwater caves because I did a scuba diving film there.
Yeah. And then I was picturing it to industrial, a la 9 Inch Nails style cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Cover? You mean like fake
Yeah.
9 Inch Nails with what?
Like an industrial, dark, moody cover of Somewhere Over a Rainbow. Somewhere Over a Rainbow. Very, just yeah. So
You mean score wise, or you mean
over the
image?
images for the
Oh,
for the teaser.
score, music.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That I haven't,
Something-
I haven't really even thought about.
Yeah,
that stuff.
something that's I don't know. I mean, this is me. I'm always dark, and
It could change too. It doesn't need to be just one thing. It could, I'm pretty good at blending, and
Mhm.
or you have something, and then you can have a dialogue piece from a scene
Mhm.
that we think is super appropriate for some,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I just want to be on board, and whatever the song is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But in terms of more would be great. You know what I mean? As much as you can get, and as much action type things, that look like could be from that we actually shot.
sure. But I think we should. Are you saying we mix that with actual previous films? If we take
Yeah, if we find the
clips
right.
and we mix.
Yeah, sure, yeah. If we find the right ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we see Charlie Hunnam in the thing. I don't know about that yet. I don't know. I think more obscurity better.
Mhm.
I don't want to be too on the nose.
Yeah. But even
And I've seen a lot of director scissor reels. I've seen the ones that to try to get projects off the ground they've pulled from other movies and stuff like that, and also done some. And, yeah, but I mean obviously Lost City of Z. I'm sure there's tons of fucking clips and shots and stuff like that we can
like
throw in.
close-ups and boots
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, even locations, like you have the opposites. You have back home, you know, where we can take, where I kind of see it as like, and I try to picture a place to shoot. I'm like, maybe some like.
Like for the teaser, you think we should show any back home stuff? I don't think we need to show any back home
Nothing,
stuff.
just
yeah.
all on the road.
I just think all images of Brazil. I think you could easily pack 90 seconds worth of beautiful,
Yeah,
gorgeous
you
imagery.
can. No,
Yeah.
of course you can. But is that all we want to show? Don't we want to show a little bit of, you know, back and forth?
I think for the visual, I think the pitch is like we have a Brazilian fucking, you know, filmmaker. We're gonna shoot in fucking Brazil. Name the last thing TV or movie that you've ever seen that you can say, you know, that was shot in Brazil. Something people have never seen before. Like, I mean, just in the pictures alone, like, dude, can you imagine a fucking series taking place there? Like, you know how,
Yeah.
like, I just think that's, for this purpose, for all, because, like, and then we gotta have a killer synopsis or something, you know, quick explanation of the story or whatever.
Yeah.
Because we tell them it's this deep family, you know, it's This Is Us meets fucking, you know, adventures and whatever, you know.
But here, let's.
Queen of the Desert.
Sure. Hold on. No, let's go to the writing before visuals and everything.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you just said it. So we you know, we're working on the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a killer synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to have a killer log line.
I hate these.
I fucking hate that shit. I hate the whole. But yeah, I mean, dude, like anybody, you're gonna get a meeting. That's the 1st thing they're gonna ask. What's the story about? We need to have what the story's about in a paragraph.
So those are fine. Those are that's all me. Relatively, you know. So I can do that.
And then I think we should have. Yeah, I think a synopsis is good enough for, like, you know, the whole story, and then just treatments.
Yeah.
I think even 1 through 8, yeah, and pilot, which you're working on. And then that's for the writing, and then we're gonna do teaser.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do
Poster?
a pitch deck and
Poster.
a poster. I already talked to my buddy. He's a sick graphic designer.
Pitch deck, like
Yeah, like
slides format.
it's kind of. Let me see if I have an example here. Title, synopsis, photos. Like there's gonna be photos, which is like the mood of the whole thing. Cast preference. You know,
Okay.
who do we want?
So like a lookbook.
Yeah, it's a lookbook.
Yeah.
Same thing. Cool.
And I think we got enough time. By September, you know, right?
I hope so. I'm gonna be working on this. Hopefully, I'm gonna go the first week of July to this, to Chapada, and then I'll have August to work on it.
Yeah, man.
What do you think, as far as from your point of view, like to finish these treatments, which you've been doing pretty fast? And
Treatments will definitely be done this week.
Oh, perfect.
Within probably 2 days.
And then pilot, probably in a couple weeks, you probably have.
Couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mid July, and let's say even till the.
I'll finish the treatments this week. I'll start on the pilots. 1, 2,
Yeah, mid-July. Be done with that. And then I'll start to put together the lookbook and notes. I'll probably take everything down by then, and just put it in a big binder. And yeah, and then it's just pilot, and then I'm gonna wait. I don't want to go any deeper, and that's enough right. I mean, there will be more, but I want like to then be getting paid, you know, to go. Then it's gonna be a full treatment for each one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And people, if it's a good pilot,
Yeah.
and the synopsis is catchy,
Yeah.
and the treatments are read, that's all we need.
Yeah.
And then we try to get that dollar to execute and
Then we
get the
can.
money to make the pilot.
Then we can carpool to work.
Right.
It'll be great.
Yeah. What's your internet here? Is it Digest or is it
No. Files. Yeah.
that one?
Yeah.
What's the password?
How was your week? How's it been? Mine, I keep asking people because my week was thick. with
You have
this,
migraines? I've been having migraines. I get migraines all the time.
Really? I mean, I've been getting fucking signals. It's like I feel like thick, like a lot, like nothing bad, nothing really great, nothing bad, but just like.
It's the weather. So this guy was telling us, actually my wife's friend, she's like, my husband's a scientist, and he's like, this is like a really weird weather, and like people have been saying how weird it's been.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is like the exact climate for earthquakes.
Really?
Yeah. It's like when it's like the change when it's been really foggy at night, and then just like it turns real fast, and so, I don't know. People, I think it's a little strange. My wife
Something's going
mentioned
on.
something strange. Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And that's just what I'm saying. Like everybody I mentioned, they're like, yeah, it has been a little weird, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's okay.
Just go with it. I've just been preparing my house and like all that shit. Yesterday I was in Joshua Tree. Lot of dragging. Zero. Oh, sorry. There's Looper. Remember I told you Looper,
The movie?
the movie.
Mhm.
Ryan Johnson. He
Yeah.
made a pretty good sizzle fake trailer
For Looper?
for Looper to get that
I
made.
don't know if I've seen it. I've seen Joe Carnahan's for Daredevil and a few other ones.
Let me see if I
Ryan Johnson's a prime example of somebody that like people think like, oh, it came out of nowhere. It's like it took Ryan Johnson
Yeah, right.
15 years to make Brick. 15 years.
Wow.
Maybe it was like 12. But still, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was in LA for like 10 years, like, trying to make that his first indie film, and with that, came that, then Looper, and then fucking Star Wars, you know? But, like, it doesn't happen overnight, people.
I think this is it right here. Let's see. I haven't seen it in years.
Time travel has not been invented, but in 30 years it will be. It will be very illegal, used only by large criminal groups. My employers. When they need someone in the future to disappear, they grab him. Send him back in time.
Hello?
Potato salad?
Hello.
Oh, no thanks. You want potato salad?
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm not a potato salad fan.
I'm throwing it away. Nobody
Alright.
wants it.
And I kill a man who does not yet exist. Assassins like me are called loopers. We shoot fish in a barrel. We are well paid. We live the good life while the world crumbles around us.
I think voiceover is the best way to tell a story with images.
When the man appears, you pull the trigger. Easy.
You can have Ian do it, voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
Until a man appeared.
Maybe I should write something.
was me. I broke the rule. Now I'm a fugitive. I'm hunted. And there's only one way out. I'm gonna find myself and kill me.
Yeah, and how did he get Joseph Gordon-Levitt to do the voiceover? Because he was in his first movie. Because they were, you know what I mean? And he asked, called it a favor.
No, of course.
Dude, these people are like, how am I to get my scripts read? And I'm like,
You have friends.
I have, well, but I'm like, they don't live in LA.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't know. It's been
I know.
a decade of like knowing people and like, you know.
Yeah. No, totally.
I did one for
It's hard to get people to read your fucking script, man.
anybody that's worth it. Shit.
So I have a couple, but this one I did in 2010, and it was for a comedy. And like soon after, while I was like working on it with a producer and stuff, the same movie came out.
Really?
Yeah, the same fucking. It's because it's based on a true story, but the same movie came out. It sucked. It was a horrible film, but it's too long. It's like 4 minutes. We don't need to watch the whole thing, but let me see. It's called The Rocky Mountain Rambo. The movie's called Army of One. It's with Nicolas Cage. It's really weird because Nicolas Cage appears in my. But you see, like makes songs and.
His charm is so contagious. Vaccines have been created for it.
And I would change this stuff, a lot of this stuff.
Alien abductors have asked him to prove them. If he were to give you directions, you'd never get lost, and you'd arrive at least 5 minutes early. His legend precedes him, the way lightning precedes thunder. He is
The man now nicknamed the Rocky Mountain Rambo is the talk of the town today, drawing cheers and jeers for his behavior. After getting detained in Pakistan, Gary Faulkner is talking about his solo mission to hunt down Osama bin Laden.
Who is Gary Faulkner, a top story town where construction workers arrested on a mission.
The story seemed too bizarre to be true.
Police have arrested an American citizen for allegedly crossing the border into Afghanistan.
Gary Faulkner from Greeley, Colorado, found alone in a forest in northern Pakistan, armed with a pistol, sword, and night vision goggles, after pledging to capture or kill the world's most wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden.
How much more is that I can throw football over the mountain? You always say you want my life. Don't you stick that knife in your leg?
Who knows if he's hiding in some cave or not? We hadn't heard from him in a long time.
There's an old poster out west, I recall, that said wanted, dead or alive.
We got some good people here and stuff. The problem is too many people talk, too little action. Me, I'd rather do the action and we'll talk later. Born in Los Angeles, Hollywood, falling star. Right. What do you do for a living? Now nothing.
Are you employed?
You went there to try to find Osama bin Laden, is that correct? Yes, that was the objective.
How are you going to get to Pakistan? What is that route?
Well, the route is really kind of like you just head in a direction and you'll eventually hit land, and then from there you go from there.
This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
You think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face while I'm wearing these bad boys?
They have the airlines and stuff going to 7 times, but I also tried a couple times on a boat.
On a boat? Or 2 different boats? 2 different boats.
Yeah.
And why did they try to stop you?
I didn't have a life jacket, I didn't have a radio, I didn't have flares, I was illegal as all get out in boat term.
So I sold
Airplane ticket.
How do you know what to do without getting into trouble?
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
Not a clue.
I mean, my life is a story that you won't believe. But you know what? It doesn't matter. What does matter is I stood up for what I believe. And if nobody doesn't like that, I can care less.
For my protection, they had to bounce me around. Somehow my cover got blown on a mission. Which is just my cover.
I want him alive and bring him into justice, just like Saddam, who was insane.
What do you honestly think of your chance, sir? Because if you were to find out Osama bin Laden, one would imagine he's a very well protected man.
I'm a geek. I'm good. Boost him. No different than anything else, whether you have armed guards out here, security systems,
So
or
none of
whatever.
that intimidates you.
Nah, not even close. I'm talking about drawing a line in the sand, dude. Across this line, you do not.
You must create warrior moments. Be all.
Do you think you ever got close? Yeah. How close? Well, let's put it this way. If I had a rifle, I'd shoot him. It's okay, we're Americans. What happened? I'm on dialysis. I put my life on the line.
Death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat Al-Qaeda.
Our bodies were not
I make
meant
it as
to go
if
to the
he was
grave.
the one who killed
There's
Osama.
a nice, good shaped body going to the grave. But to go to the grave totally thoroughly spent, power slide up to that thing and say, woo! What a ride. And you know what? I'm still on that ride. And I'll be darned if I'm going to let anybody try to kick me out of my car. Chicken isn't nothing but a bird, and God is a cow.
Okay. Yeah, so when I did for one of my scripts,
Is it video?
YouTube.
So that's like a mix with the tone, like with Big Lebowski and all those other Napoleon Dynamite, with the actual person.
California's reservoirs are incredibly low, suffers from unprecedented approaching the worst drought of the last
We have another year as dry as this last one. Right, just about
unprecedented action.
Grasshoppers? Grasshoppers buzzing around in the piano.
California's resorting to drastic measures to combat it.
Ultimately, there's just no defense against millions of locusts landing on the soil.
Is this for Bugs? One of the girls in the.
Human nature is just like Mother Nature. It's not black and white,
So you filmed like some actual stuff,
but black and gray.
sort of different concept.
Yeah, cool.
This is funny. Cocoa Puffs. Like a Cocoa Puff blower. It's cereal. Kind of looks cool, right? Because I was like, I want to do all practical.
Is that all Cocoa Puffs?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Dude, I tried 12 different cereals to find
Really?
the right. Oh yeah.
Is it the dark? The Cocoa Puffs are like the dark
Yeah, they're
Rice
little
Krispies?
flakes. They're little, yeah, they're little flakes. Cause it was the back of there, like, was just covered in fucking cereal. But we had a pig at the time, so he loved it. Yeah.
Oh, the piggy. I got a bounce in 5.
For sure. All right, well that looks good, dude. I think we're on the same page. It's gonna be. I'll let you quarterback the teaser. Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of whatever, I'll try to find some cool music. I'd love to have our fucking composer, or my composer, but she's gone dark on me. But I'd love to have her. She did a cover for the project Ian and I did. I did another teaser for that, and she did a cover of Lou Reed's "Lonely Day." And it fucking kills.
Yeah, the guy who did Alex, the guy in my film who did the soundtrack, is my good friend. He has a studio in Culver City, and he's just good at everything. He used to play, like, it doesn't mean shit because he's not the type of music, but he used to play with Iron Maiden back in the day.
Fucking love Iron Maiden. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's a drummer.
No way.
Like 94 when Bruce split.
Yeah. God, what was there was like 2 albums. I had the first one. Fucking, I remember the cover. Eddie was like real. It wasn't like a drawing.
Eddie?
On the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a real you know. You know.
Yeah, well, anyways, he's another option. You know.
Yeah, for sure, whoever. But you're definitely more on you're the visual side of this project, I think, more so. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
the only thing I would say is what I talked about before is let's make some references and put it like on a Google Docs so I can watch and pull stuff from a couple films that we think like, oh, like even if you remember like this particular scene from this film here could work in this teaser, you know, and if that comes to your head, write it down, jot it down, and then like I'll go through it. You know.
Yep. And I'll do all the paperwork.
Well, I mean, yeah. Synopsis. This one's gonna be fun. Always the tighter is the hardest shit.
And the log line.
And like, yeah, what's
3 siblings embark on an adventure to Brazil.
After their ailing father.
I like saying the jungles of Brazil.
Yeah.
The jungles of Brazil.
To search for something their father left behind before he died.
I'll have to research that. Like, what's the log line for This Is Us? I keep using it as a reference, but I mean that. Not that that's
the Jordan Peele film.
No, the TV show that's
Didn't you
with the heavyset lady and it's like the fucking Mandy Moore's in it and fucking.
This is recent or old? Yeah, it's super. Yeah. Mandy Moore's in it.
Yeah. Come on, isn't it? What it's like.
It's 2016.
Yeah, I mean it's still on the air. But it's like a family drama.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
Yeah. You ever heard of it? It's like huge. Anyway.
I don't watch TV, dude.
Nor do I, but like at least a year of it. See if you can find the log line.
I've heard. See, I'm confused because there's Us, the film.
Yeah.
Us, and then there's.
Have you seen that?
Not yet, but
I just watched it recently.
Pretty good.
I liked it better than Get Out. I think it's a better script. I think it's a better story. I didn't like the ending for Get Out. I thought it was a kind of cheapo way. This one I enjoyed more. And it was a good like horror film.
That's what I was wondering. Like how is this gonna end? This Get Out. I mean.
It ended very studio-like to me. Can you find the log line?
Oh yeah, sorry.